This is Jurassic James, and on this Jurassic James Explains, we're doing something different. We're not going to do a dinosaur toy or model. We're going to do this right here. Now, what's the big deal? If you ever go to, it was here in Texas, go to like Marshall's or Ross or Burlington, they often have really small toy sections. So I was in Big Lots and actually saw one of these, and I've seen it before at other stores, and I, at first, was like, whatever, marine, modern animals, not a big deal for me personally. But then I saw something in the bottle, inside of it, and I said, this is really, really neat. And I thought I saw something, and my wife was like, "How do you know it's what you thought it was?" And I'm like, I'm Jurassic James." And let's just start. So basically, here's a little thing. It shows you all these little marine things, dolphins and stuff. So let me go ahead and open this part. And it was only $10. Yeah. So first, the lid's like this little, like, I guess the water into the bridge. It's neat. I don't know. So I'm going to organize these animals based on how I do it on my website in biology. So we classify animals by whether they're bugs or squid or mammal types. So I'm going to lay them out that way too. If you want to know more about this, just hit the link below. I have a link there to the website. You can click on different pictures of these models, and not every individual species, individual toy, but by species and groups. So if you're into that kind of classification or taking a class, by all means use it. The first thing I see here is essentially a manatee, which are in a group of mammals called sirens. And you say, why are they called siren? Because like when you scare them, it's like when a ambulance drives by, it's like, I'm kidding, that's a terrible joke. Sirens are actually because in Greek mythology, the sirens would sing these songs to sailors and lure them to crash their boats. And people, for some reason in the past, thought manatees were essentially mermaids. That's a thing out there. So that siren's the name of their order because scientists are nerds. So it's a mammal, so I'll put it over here. You can't do any ocean thing without having the great white shark or the white shark, basically. So here it is, all the parts, gills, dorsal fin, it's all there. Next we have, let's see, a hammerhead shark. So you just put your nails and go like no, I'm kidding. The hammerhead shark using this wide area with sensory, so it can actually sense in the water. So sharks are a fish called chondrichthyes, meaning cartilage fish, basically. So from the Silurian till today, they're all chondrichthyes, also including rays and skates, so the flat stingrays. Here's why I picked this thing. This is not a dolphin, it is a ichthyosaur. Ichthyosaur means fish lizard because it's a reptile, where dolphins have blowholes, ichthyosaurs have nostrils, they breathe air, and they're reptiles by their anatomy, but they look like fish, and they have these pectoral fins here. And the idea, what's really cool is that actually this part is only cartilage, so the vertebra goes along here and goes down. If you go to any museum, you'll see that. It's really kind of neat. Also, there's no cartilage, there's no bone in the dorsal fin. So you'll see some fossils, it's just like this part on the fossil, but overall, you'll see that sometimes they'll like sketch in this because we know it's there from other specimen. But anyway, ichthyosaur. So this is a ichthyosaur, which they show up in the Triassic period, and they die out by Cretaceous period without before dinosaurs. So this is not a modern marine thing. This is why I bought bought this, because I was like, that's not a dolphin or a shark, so it's a reptile. So I'll put it right here. We have chondrichthyes, mammals, reptiles. Next we have some kind of blue shark there. Anyway, so we have another shark. I am not a shark expert, so there's a sea star, or people say starfish. The proper term is sea star. The phylum or group are called Echinodermata, meaning spiny skin, basically, because sea urchins, sand dollars, crinoids are all in the same grouping, basically. And these guys have that feature. And they also have pentameral symmetry, which means you and I, being human, are bilateral. We're equal on both sides. They have 5 sides, penta and 5. So it's kind of a cool thing there. Here we have a sea turtle, which are always awesome. Sea turtles are reptiles, of course. They're actually technically marine reptiles, but that's a different story. Here we have some kind of ray, basically, so like that. So you're saying this is a form of shark, a chondrichthyes. Now I know a biologist is like, they're not sharks, they're a different group, but in paleontology, big picture, they're chondrichthyes, so they're closer to sharks than they are anything else here. Here we have a googly-eyed octopus. Now, octopus are called cephalopods, and the idea behind cephalopod means head, foot, because if you're ancient Greek and you see this thing, you're like, yeah, there's feet coming out of the head. But the truth is, where the eyes are is the head, and the arms go below that. But the part above it, right here, is actually the mantle. So imagine for a human, if your arms and legs came from your chin, and your torso is like over your head. Now you're like a squid basically. So they're cephalopods over here. So next we have, this is a dolphin. Dolphins are mammals. With ichthyosaurs, it's an example of convergent evolution that both these separate groups, actually really cool. Sharks and fish first had this design earlier on in the Paleozoic. In the Triassic, these reptiles go in the ocean. They evolved the same flipper design. They're wiped out, and in the Eocene, the earliest whale ancestors show up, and dolphins come along later on, and they have the same design. The way to tell a dolphin from a ichthyosaur, just superficially, is dolphins have, again, blowholes above their head, ichthyosaurs in front of their eyes. Dolphins, and they both have pectoral fins and dorsal fins, but these guys have these fins back here, near like the hips, basically. Dolphins have lost those. Also, the way to tell, ichthyosaur tails go back and forth like sharks and fish. Dolphin tails go up and down, undulate like this. So that's the general way to tell them apart. But I can see where a person who doesn't know this would see a picture of one and not know the difference at first. But yeah, so ichthyosaurs are reptiles, dolphins are mammals. So here we have a seahorse, which is essentially a rayfin fish. So again, I mentioned this on the website. There's a whole section of rayfin fish and placoderms and chondrichthyes and how they're defined. So this is kind of like a bony fish, closer to a eel or a salmon or a tuna than like sharks or reptiles. So I'll put it right in the middle, right there. So next we have a little humpback whale model right there. So basically, whales, if you don't know, I love whales because they're giant things that are awesome. And most things that were giant in fossil record in the ocean were like godless killing machines, and these guys are just like giant whales who eat plankton. It's kind of cool, and they dance for us sometimes. That's kind of fun. Anyway, so they're mammals too, cetaceans. Here we have a arthropod. Arthro means joint, pod means foot. Like think of arthritis in your joints when you get older. This is a bug. It's called a lobster. So they are a couple of bugs. We have mammals right here, reptiles right here, osteoichthyes, bony fish, chondrichthyes, cartilage fish, and echinoderms, which are, crinoids and things. And we have arthropods here between mollusks. So they're different phylums of life. Here we have another little turtle, sea turtle, which is a reptile. Also some sort of porpoise, like that. So basically, whales and dolphins are a group called cetaceans. And that, again, they are actually mammals. Despite people that are fish, like, no, they're mammals. They give birth to live young and all that. So we're getting to the mini figure. So another octopus, a cephalopod. So put that with the other guy. Let's see, we have another dolphin. So another member cetacea. And, here we go. This is cool. A baby, I say baby ichthyosaur. It's a little ichthyosaur. For it to be a baby, actually, that's pretty big. So, okay, here's the thing. When I was a kid and I would play dinosaur toys in the backyard, the babies would just be smaller figures, different, but truly a baby animal would have a smaller nose, bigger eyes. This guy actually seems to have bigger eyes. So that's kind of like a baby on purpose. That's kind of neat. But it's an ichthyosaur, this one here. So it's a marine reptile. So I'll put that guy there. We have here another hammerhead shark. One to add to the pile. And I think we're done with animals. There's a lot of seaweed, of course, background fodder. This is basically seaweed. So what you're seeing here is a kingdom Animalia. The kingdoms are animals, Animalia, plants, fungi like mushrooms and things, yeast. Protista, which is where these guys really fall in. Then Plantae, of course, and then there's bacteria, different kinds of bacteria. There's two different major kingdoms. So what you're seeing here basically is seaweed is under Protista. So it's kind of like in the hierarchy of life evolution, bacteria is at the bottom, right? So earliest stuff, right? Then there's Protista, these often single cell life forms with a nucleus, the DNA. And then above that, you get plants and fungi and animal. Well, so Protista is kind of like a catch-all group. And basically what's going on is some Protists are like animals and some are like plants. So seaweed's kind of like on the plant side. So there's a lot of seaweed in this. Lots of seaweed. There's more seaweed. Oh, wait. Seaweed. So below that, there are rocks, which is ironic because rocks, form first. So it's like rocks, protists, animals. It's kind of like evolution. So I'm guessing these are like they plug into the seaweed plugs into this for your background. So for you, if you like a dinosaur kit or something like that, there's like plants and trees and stuff. It's the same thing for the ocean here, I guess. There's more rocks. Giant rock. Oh, look, there is another arthropod, a little bitty crustacean. And crustaceans show up in a fossil record. The earliest crustacean is recognized as a Cambrian, like 500 million years ago. But they don't really take off until the trilobites go extinct. So we wouldn't see shrimp-like things to the Triassic or Jurassic, and you wouldn't see recognizable crabs into the Cretaceous period. Anyway, so again, that's what we're looking at. Tube's empty. So in general, you have your mollusk, your cephalopods, octopi, your arthropods, your jointed foot bugs, echinoderms, your spiny skin, chondrichthyes, the cartilage fish, osteichthyes, the bony fish, reptilia here, in form of marine reptiles mainly. And for mammalia, we have dolphins, whales, and a siren or a manatee. So, I mean, for $10, it's a pretty cool kit. If you're into marine biology, especially, I would definitely get it. But also, if you want to know more about these guys and who they're related to and how they're defined, again, the links below on JurassicJames.com. It's a mammal. I actually have a toy gallery. So on the specimen page, there's like minerals and rocks and fossils and seashells. I have added a toy gallery because I just wanted to do that and to see these guys and see why they're related to what they are. So kind of like a supplement to my class and my videos. So with that being said, thank you very much. I'll see you guys later.